Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Inshallah, today's video in the Imam Mahdi arrival series that we do in this channel. Today's video, I'll be talking to you a very, very important hadith, and this hadith is actually very, very common too. A lot of you have heard about this hadith. Before we mention the hadith, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing because we talk a lot about Dajjal. So again, if you're new here, consider subscribing. And also we talk about the Mahdi, the coming of the Mahdi, and Ya'juj and Ma'juj, end of time. So again, if you're new here, consider subscribing. So what is the hadith it talks about? Now, this hadith is reported in Sahih al-Bukhari. So this is a Sahih hadith, and this was narrated by Abu Hudayfa radiallahu anh. Rasulullah he described. Now we talk about the hadith first, and then inshallah we'll talk about some of the things that we see coming true. And that will tell us how true the hadith was. Rasulullah he said that inna ma'a man, and he will have Dajjal, he will have with him ma'an, means water, one nar, and fire. So he will have water and fire. فَنَارُهُ مَاءٌ barid. Indeed, his water, his fire, فَنَارُهُ, his fire is cold water. Okay, ma'un barid. Barid was used as an extension to the word ma'an. Ma'an in Arabic means water. Barid was used as an extension to the water, cold water, to make it cold water. And then Rasulullah he said, wa ma'u nar, and his water will be fire and nar, right? So he will be deceiving people by representing or misrepresenting what fire is in its true sense and what water is in its true sense. You get my point? So he'll be misrepresenting. He will be flipping it whole altogether. Like there is, in other words, what we can also say in today's term, he will make halal haram, haram halal. Right? He will see something haram, he will say no, it's halal. Believe in me is halal, he will say, but it is in reality is the haram, the haram, the worst haram possible. So his job is to make halal haram, haram halal. Now think about the Muslims today who are doing the same thing. How many of us are being deceived and we consider, for example, riba, interest, as halal? How many of us are saying that? A lot of us. Unfortunate, but a lot of us. How many people are saying that it is okay to look at a haram thing because it's really not haram? It's just look. How many of us are doing that? A lot of us. So we are making that thing haram, halal, halal, haram already. So when Dajjal will come, it will be easy for him to tell us, hey, look, this water that I have, it is the best water. Come and get it. You're thirsty, you need water for your irrigation, for your thirst, for your country, for your land. Come and get it from me. But in reality, Rasulullah said that his ma will be nar. His water will be nar, fire. And then he will say, if you don't believe in me, if you don't believe in halal haram that I'm making for you because I'm your God, right? This is what he will say. If you don't believe in me, then I'm going to throw you in my nar. Rasulullah said that his nar ma'un barid. It's not just a water, but it is a cold water. Means it's the best thing you can get. Subhanallah. I mean, what water is the best water? If you ask me, is it boiling water? Of course not, because if you have boiling water, if you're drinking boiling water, it's the worst thing that you can drink. In fact, Allah Azza wa Jalla will punish the people of Jahannam with boiling water. He will give them boiling water. But his water is the exact opposite, which is the water from Jannah, which is cold water. So you will not only be saved from his nar, from the nar of Dajjal, but also you will enjoy a good life. That moment of his fire is the best moment you can imagine. So when we consider something haram according to our Sharia, what I'm trying to get you at, and we put ourselves in a very inconvenient position by not taking riba from bank or by not looking at haram things or a lot of haram things, Allah Azza wa Jal will reward us for those, like He will be rewarding the people who will not follow the Dajjal. It means that I'm not saying literally, but you get my point. That the people who will enjoy a good water is the one who will be given, cold water. And going back to our main point, how many of us are doing that? How many of us are falling into this trap, believing that something is halal when in reality is it is haram? So the coming of the Dajjal will be such that, dear brothers and sisters, it is a reward for the believers. Okay, in other words, it is a reward for the believers. If you can stick to your belief, it's the best thing you can do when Dajjal will come. And if you right now, because he's not here, if you can disobey his commands, for example, if you say that no, I'm going to be sticking to my religion, then what will happen is that you will be rewarded for it. You will have the best life experience ever. I have few comments here. Muhammad Faisal, Walaikum assalam. Azmar Mustaqim. I have Muhammad Faisal, and then Faizat 10. Walaikum assalam, brothers. And today I actually wanted to also talk to you about a very, very important topic, which is not this one, the Dajjal topic that I just shared with you. And this hadith is again reported in Sahih al-Bukhari, and Hudayfa radiallahu anhu, he mentioned. The one thing that I want to talk to you about is Kamala Harris. If you are living in Asia, you may not know her. You should though, but you may not know her because she is from the States. Okay, right now she is from the States. Kamala Harris, she was picked by Joe Biden as his running mate. What worries me about Kamala Harris is the fact that, Tulsi Gabbard, she was another Democrat contender for the nomination. Okay, Tulsi Gabbard, I watched a video, and she's from India. Okay, she has Indian heritage. Tulsi, Tulsi, the name Tulsi is Indian, is Asian. Our name, we use that in back home. In one interview she said that, how people convert to Islam, she doesn't like it. So my fear was that Tulsi Gabbard one day will ban people converting to a different religion, especially Islam. That was my fear. I was thinking about, well, if she's elected, she will ban it, that you cannot convert, you cannot change your religion. Even though U.S. Constitution, they give you the rights to believe whatever you believe in, but Tulsi Gabbard and people like her, if they keep coming, then there will be at one point where this discussion will become very serious, and they will look back and say, oh, look, Muslim, when they convert, they become this, they become bad person, they become evil people, so we need to stop them from converting. So when Kamala Harris was picked by Joe Biden, she is also Indian. Okay, her father, I believe, he was Jamaican, or mother was Jamaican, something like that. But the point here is that Allah Azza wa Jal has warned us about a people who commit shirk, and these people are, murti pujari, right? What do you call that? Statue worshipper, the idol worshippers. The worship the murti, the statue. Allah Azza wa Jal talks about the danger of these people, that وَإِذَا ذُكِرَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, when Allah is mentioned alone in the Quran, I believe it's Surah Zumar, I think. وَإِذَا ذُكِرَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ أُشْمَأَزَّتْ قُلُوبٌ, they feel disgust in their heart. Means the biggest enemy for these people is Islam, because Islam is the only religion that talks about Allah Azza wa Jal alone. You worship Him alone, nobody else. So when Kamala Harris, coming from a Murti Pujari background, worshipping idols, and I have seen her picture too, her father and family. It will be something not easy for her to digest that Islam will spread in the States. I mean, this is just my thought. I'm not, saying that if you're in the States, you should not like her or whatever your opinion about her, but we have to be careful. And we also talk about Ilhan Omar from the States, the U.S. Congresswoman, and I warned you against her. So be careful who you love, who you follow. Some so see, these are some of the few points that I wanted to mention with you guys. Dajjal, be very very careful. This woman we talk about, these are all Dajjalic people. So don't get too excited, don't get too riled up, and know their fact, don't know their background, where they're coming from, what is their agenda, what they want, and you'll inshallah be more aware in terms of your future decision making, inshallah. Jazakallah khair for tuning in. I have few comments here. Muhammad Faisal, is Allah tells about that we don't work for Khilafah. No, he did not tell anything about that. Allah Azza wa Jalla actually promised Khilafah for the believers, but you have to believe. I believe the ayat is from Surah Araf, that if you believe in Allah, Allah will establish you on land. So inshallah, we'll talk to you again soon. Jazakallah khair for tuning in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.